Well, it is remarkable. It is the 25th of October, 2019, at about 1:28 p.m. here, Philippine time. And the braking system, uh, the fiat system, is about to be destroyed. Listen, as God says, really nothing springs forth and builds up until it dies. This fiat system is about to die. You cannot, well, at one time it was $75 billion a day that the Fed was printing and putting through the banks. And as you should know, it is paying off people that have already and are being exchanged within the new system, or their reset notes that they have that they are exchanging and exchanging into a better system that is an asset-backed system. Now, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but what you probably don't know that that's increased to almost 200 billion a day, upwards to 216 billion a day. Now, all of that needs to happen, and I didn't know, I had no idea it was going to be this extensive, because they're doing it all behind closed doors, and nobody's really recognizing, other than Norway saying that there will be a reset, a global reset, and we need to go into gold. They just came out and said it. Okay, now all of this is confirmed with, Blaze TV with Beck talking about it with the other banking officials and just people in the know. The thing is what I didn't know, that 50 trillion, not million, not billion, trillion, has been printed up by China. Because as I said before, they have no regulations. They heed nobody. They don't care. It's just paper to them, cut down by trees and cotton filled in, and it doesn't mean anything. We made this wicked system of meaningless paper money printed up by Kinko's, $50 trillion. And as he said, 24 trillion of it has gone to offshore accounts and all kinds of things, so you can't know about it because they are beholden to nobody. They're not accountable to anyone. They're not in America where you can just print this stuff up and not be put in jail, or in China under the jail, okay, to make you think twice. It is enormous how it's going to go on. And listen, it was going to happen whether President Trump was elected in 2016 or not. This is what they were headed to because of that 2025 goal of China to just kind of rule and manufacture everything in the whole world and just be in charge. Now that was stopped. It was stopped by the Lord. This too will be stopped temporarily because the system will just dissolve, the fiat system that is, as it is already taking place now. Because because they are beholden to no one, the only way to stop is to change the system from fiat to asset back, where they have to be accountable a little bit. I mean, they can lie and say, we got this much gold, we got this much oil, we got this much control, which they do. Okay? But for a time, the United States is just going to soar through. And I believe, certainly by the 31st, I still believe that England will be coming out, regardless of what happens. Even the Queen might speak up and say, hey, we're leaving regardless, no matter what you say, no matter what backstop in Ireland or anything else like that. The Queen might stand up, and that is going to be pretty remarkable if she does that. But it'll open up the markets from United States and Canada and everybody else to prop up England and temporarily stifle anything of the European Union where they have to regroup, because we know they're definitely going to regroup. Nobody's going to stop prophecy from proceeding and taking place and being successful. And if President Trump wasn't in there, all of this would already be over. But the system is about to reset itself, and the currencies will revalue big time. Man, oh man, I just didn't know it was just going to explode like this. Now everybody's going to get hurt in one way or the other, and the churches. But then the churches, there's a lot of churches. I'm talking about outside the worldwide Church of God or any Church of God that know about this system, as God says, they're going to be rich and increase with goods beyond measure. It is not some hyperbole or misnomer or any other words that you want to put in there that says it's not going to happen. It's going to be literal. And that's why they're going to think that way. And that's why they're not going to really be as spiritual as they need to be, and they're going to be lukewarm, pitiful, blind, and naked. And it will affect people within the Church of God. And I believe all of this is about to explode on us mightily. $50 trillion that they have printed up. That is an unbelievable, staggering amount. And the way they do that is because of what they already have. And that is the revalued currency that they have already revalued themselves. As it is already being done on Visa and MasterCard to those who are allowed to spend this money. And may the Lord bless us to see it between now, this weekend, certainly before the end. But I had no idea how extensive it was and how scary, literally. If you didn't have the spirit and the knowledge and understanding of God, you'd just be totally perplexed. And the whole world is going to be real soon when all of these systems just kind of fail. And the backup systems, like I said, that they already have, it's already been explained, is the new asset-backed system. And a lot of these same countries will have an alternative currency as well, which, you call crypto and everything else like that. But that also will be backed up by asset-backed things that they have within their own lands. It's pretty extraordinary how it's all playing out, because everybody says, okay, well, there's going to be a recession, you're going to have a depression, you're going to have all of those at once. But then, just like God says in the dream, as a man is dreams that he's eating and he wakes and his hunger still is there, it's just going to disappear. But yet, as I said, God is going to bless the house of Israel to be visible once again, and it's going to prosper like nobody has ever seen before. And man, we are in front row seats of it all right now. Right now. One last thing. The bailing up out of all the banks is a bail-in. From all the currency that is about to revalue, that's going to satisfy as it switches over from the fiat system to the asset-backed system. I believe the whole world will see Trump as a genius, but it was simply God intervening. Venezuela, Iran, North Korea, Syria, everyone throughout the Middle East and China will all be in submission at the crisis of the close. It's just going to be remarkable. And the work of God will flourish until the Lord decides to pull the plug.